All right, so picking up where I left off, the previous statement was the legal fraternity is considered an elite group with limited access. And growing up, I wanted to join this profession that provides prestige, honor, and purpose. So, on this, I came to really appreciate how limited or how inaccessible studying law is. When I encountered some works by Franz Kafka as well as Charles Dickens. So both of these writers have written something regarding the law in a metaphorical sense. For Kafka, the most memorable is Before the Law and the Trial. And with Dickens, I don't remember the name of that piece of writing, but he was describing the city. I think it was London town at that time during his time, and he described it as well something a bit dirty and foggy, and things like that. And he was trying to say that the law is not very clear at times and things like that. And also he had mentioned something like it's for rich families, aristocrats, and that kind of thing. So I have my lecturer in first year to thank for exposing, or is it enlightening me, or directing me to these writers. I don't think I would have discovered them so quickly on my own. So she's right, I agree with her. Growing up, yeah, definitely limited access and profession that provides prestige, honor, and purpose. I don't know if we are still at this point, especially in our dispensation, where it's question. You can have a degree, definitely, but uh, the the person who carries. You know what? Actually, let me just continue agreeing with this. Okay, I've lost the document. It's disappeared. Let me try and download it again. I've lost my train of thought. I was trying to say something like you can have a degree, but then you as a person, you demean that particular degree with your actions. And maybe it's unfair for me to try and make a blanket statement. Let me just say, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, I've lost the document. I'm trying to get it open. This is reminding me of some of my sessions with my students. I would be having the projector on, and then the thing would just my laptop would decide it's time to update, or the power will cut, and I will have nothing to say. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Let me look for the document. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, so I have not found the document, but I did take some photos earlier. I had the same problem. So just in case it happened again, I had a backup in my gallery. All right, so let me continue. I don't even remember what I was saying before, but I know I think I was agreeing with her. All right, so she goes on and she says, I had a lot of motivation towards achieving good grades in order to study law. On top of that, I enjoyed public speaking and debate. And during my time, people like myself who like to, quote, uh, were viewed as suited for the legal profession. Total opposite. I was very shy, still am very shy, don't like to be looked at, would, prefer, those backbenchers or those people at the party just prefer to stand by the, is it called a wallflower? Yeah, definitely would just mind my own business. Debate was something I was interested in, but I could never just gather that courage to speak up and just do the thing. I wanted to, but I just didn't have it in me. I was very, very, very timid, a shrinking violet, if you will. I'm really surprised that I've ended up where I am career wise. So kudos to her. She started really early, and you do have to, I think you do need that zest. It's helpful, really. So she says, my primary and secondary education was in a foreign country. This exposure has always influenced my outlook in life, including the kind of legal degree I wanted to do. Towards the end of high school, my motivation and interest in law shifted. I read that in most developed countries, the legal profession is seen as one of the strongest foundations a profession can have. Excuse me. Studying law gives you the option to pursue a multitude of professions with no requirement to go into practice but freedom to diversify. So, background here is she grew up, I mean, her schooling was in Kenya. This is as far as I think this is correct, what I'm saying. And I cannot really so much comment on the Kenyan context. I have no idea what goes on there. I know two Kenyan people in my whole life. So, I suppose maybe law their law structure or framework is a bit more, I don't know, maybe internationally oriented. Difficult for me to pitch in on this one, but I did my LLB outside of my country, and that probably, I could relate on the international wanting to do something a bit outside of what is regular. I can relate to that. So, on the part where she says, studying law gives you an option to pursue a multitude of professions with no requirement to go into practice, but freedom to diversify. Okay, on this one, I don't know about other countries, but I live in a country where it really does seem like having a license is the pinnacle. You have no license, you have no options. It just seems that way. Could be just not really exposed to whatever other options are there besides maybe academia. It looks like those are the two legs. You're either in academics or you are in practice, and I mean litigation. I don't know where all the other lawyers are hiding, quite frankly. On that one, I mean that's what I think. So she goes on and she says, this revelation translated into me picking an international LLB program that provided a practical approach towards the law. The main selling point of the program was premised on the idea that law is one of those courses that provides individuals with skills that are transferable and adaptable to different fields. At the time of starting law school, the concept of becoming a lawyer seemed straightforward. Go to law school, graduate, intern, and become a lawyer. I unfortunately came from a background where okay, let me stop there. On the first part, again, I don't know, I still maintain the same. Yes, can get skills from there, granted, so many different adaptable skills. But if you live in a place where people who don't study law feel like law is the only area you should be in, then you are stuck and you will hit the ceiling very, very quickly. Okay, I think I'm going to have to, again, I'll have to stop. I don't know why I'm just tearing apart her work. I'll need to stop here and then pick it up in a third installment.